I was born with something called an ear microtia, which basically means that I didn't have a right ear. When I started getting reconstruction surgeries, after I would constantly look bloody or stitched up, it didn't always look great, and I would feel incredibly self-conscious. When I was 12 or 13, we decided to try something different, and we were going with a prosthetic piece that we were going to put underneath my skin. In order to get a prosthetic under my skin, they needed to stretch the skin. So they put something called a tissue expander, which is basically this balloon that they put underneath your skin, and then periodically, every couple of weeks, they would put liquid inside it so that it would grow. And that was the period of time where I felt like I stuck out the most. I just had this big balloon on the side of my head, and I felt incredibly self-conscious, and I constantly was just thinking about it and thinking about what other people thought about it. To make matters worse, I moved to a new school when I was 13, and I had that big tissue expander in the side of my head. And middle school was a lot more whispering behind your back, and the social stakes of being a new kid and looking different. It was a very difficult time for me. And as an artist, I'm looking to put that into stories and to help connect with people who feel that sense of isolation and who feel like they look different. And that's where the inspiration for my story Ruby came. Ruby is a burn survivor who goes back to a former school where she used to be kind of top of the food chain, and it deals a lot with those feelings of isolation and those feelings that everybody's looking at you and that everybody is shocked by the way you look. We have been planning logistics for a long time. We have various pieces of equipment that are required to make this that aren't available at the school that we're going to need to rent elsewhere. And the daily rate of that rental is expensive. One of the very expensive aspects of this film is the fact that our protagonist is a burn survivor means that we are going to need a lot of materials, a lot of prosthetics and stuff for the hair and makeup department. Prosthetics are not cheap, and it'll take several makeup tests and practice runs before the day of that shoot to really get the look of the burn survivor and to do it justice. Those materials cost a lot of money, and potentially even including a professional to come help us and to make sure that that burn survivor really does look like a burn survivor. And I'm really hoping to be able to find it or be able to raise these funds, because paying out of pocket for something like this is going to be expensive, but the story needs to be told, and the story needs to be told now, because I am in this environment with all of these people who are available and excited to work with me, and we have access to a lot of tools as students that I won't have access to when I graduate next year. I'm very excited to tell this story. I connect to it on a deeply personal level, and I feel like a lot of other people will as well. If you guys help us, I want you to also feel like you are participating in telling this important story.